2025, the city council. I think it's my turn. The pledge of allegiance. So,
Sounds good.
you all join and appreciate it. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mary, can you please have a vote?
Mayor Pro Tem La Silva,
Present.
Councilmember Scott Fine,
Present.
Councilmember Lorraine Worthy, excused absence, Councilmember Mario Orozco,
Present.
Mayor Jose Rios.
Present. Moving on to the agenda, public comment. Any member of the public may address the council for a period not to exceed 2 minutes on any item not on the agenda. The council will listen to all communications, but will take no action and make no comment. The podium is open.
Roman Barba. I got a ticket for riding my bike here in Gonzales by the Gonzales Police Department. So I decided to take it to court, not because of the fine, because the fine was $200. So, but I decided that's when I was about to take the police officer to court and make him show up, right? He did show up, but he didn't understand the color of bike I was riding because I don't have a red bike. He said I had a red bike, that I was riding on a red bike. I don't have a red bike. Also too, he wrote down the code violation on the ticket wrong, so that was brought up in court. So basically, the police officer didn't know how to fill out a ticket, so he put the wrong violation on it. And also too, I was, this picture here, police car number 7, Mr. Officer Bone, the one that gave me the ticket on the bike, I guess somebody was taking a picture of him in his car and he flipped them off. So we had the picture blown up, clearly shows him flipping that person off. So I wanted to bring that up to your attention. But I understand our streets are so bad, and that's one of the things I did. I took pictures of the streets here in town, and I showed it to the judge. I also showed him the signs over here by the bike, where the bank's at, where your signs, your one-way signs are all covered up. All the signs are covered up, so you can't see the one-way signs. And the markings on the street, they're faded out. And also you have signs over here that says one way, and they're supposed to have a circle with an arrow, with the black arrow. Well, they're all black, they're all whited out. So even cars could go down the wrong way because the signs are all blocked off. And the streets, people had to ride their bikes sometimes on the sidewalk because the streets are so bad. And that's from 5th Street all the way down. And Jose, you should know this, that when you're elected, me and you walk these streets. You know what streets. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Henry Martinez, 112 10th Street. I'm here to inform the city that my fellow compadre up in Long Island, his name is Long Island Audit. He's working the same thing I'm doing here in Gonzales, but he's bigger, more money, lawyers, detective working on his behalf. He ran into the 2-minute thing at the city council. It's on Facebook and Twitter, Long Island Audit. He ran into the 2-minute, he ran into the mayor problems, he ran into the chief, he filed complaints and suing the chief. And one of the meetings, they dragged him out of the meeting because he was talking for more than 2 minutes. And he said the 2 minutes was unconstitutional. So right now, he's filing a lawsuit against the chief, the mayor, the city, I forgot what city it's on Facebook, Long Island Audit, and he's suing the city for the 2 minutes. So as soon as I find out what he's done and if he won, then I'll bring that information back and maybe we can talk about the 2 minutes again. If we're just waiting for him to win because he has the lawyers, he has the money because he's suing everybody back east. And he has the power to sue the cities and the chief and everybody. And he's arguing about the 2 minutes because they dragged him from this podium out the door, the chief and another officer. So, And he all he was doing was saying his free speech. I just wanted to bring that up. As soon
Thank
as I
you.
get the information, I'll bring it in.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to make a comment? Nobody? Okay. Marisol, do we have any comments via Zoom?
Yes, we have Martinez Jr.
Okay, please put them on. You're on.
Hello from the wonderful world of Hawaii. So to piggyback off of everybody else, it's Sergeant Bowie, the same officer that struck me, the same officer that gave Roman a ticket, the same officer that's been hammering numerous complaints. I don't know what you guys are doing. I've seen him flip me off several times just driving past me for filing a complaint against him. He's flipped off my son. He's flipped off my family members. I don't know what's his problem, but this is gotta stop. He is being investigated, and he should not be provoking us, period. You know, where's the professionalism of these police officers? There isn't any. As you heard, they can't do their jobs right. So something needs to be done. It might be time to replace the chief. Just how we got rid of the last one, it's time to get rid of this one. The change needs to happen.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else, Marisol?
No comments via Zoom.
Okay. Mary, any comments via email? Okay. All right, we'll close the public comment period and bring it back to council for the consent agenda, items 3 through 12. Anyone wishing to pull an item or make a comment or get clarification, now's the time. Seeing nobody with any questions, then I'll entertain a motion either for approval or disapproval.
I move that we approve our consent agenda tonight as presented.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All righty. One item on the regular agenda, and it is Vista Lucia. And Ms. Silva, would you be so kind as to read into record?
Yes.
It's an extremely long one, and I'm pretty good about memorizing, but that's a pretty long comment.
I will, Mr. Mayor. Item number 13 tonight, consider approval of resolution number 2025-74, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Gonzales amending the mitigation monitoring and reporting program for the Vista Lucia project to confirm compliance with the Monterey County Local Area Formation Commissions, or otherwise known as LAFCO, resolution number 24-03, amending LAFCO's policy for preservation of open space and agricultural lands by adding policy implementation guidelines regarding agricultural mitigation actions for the city annexations of farmland and related policy refinements. Staff report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. This is a matter of pretty much housekeeping with LAFCO and a request they've made. And staff has nothing further to add than what we've written in the staff report and as you've introduced the title tonight.
Great, thank you. All right, I'll open this up for public comment. Anyone from the public wishing to comment on this item may do so, excuse me, at this time.
Nobody's coming to the
Nobody's
podium.
coming, nobody's running, huh?
Nope.
Okay, Marisol, any comments via Zoom?
No comments via Zoom.
Thank you. Mary, any comments via email? Okay, I'll close the public comment period and bring it back to council. Any council discussion? And if not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I have one comment.
We'll have one.
I
Okay.
just want to make sure that everything that is required of this city for this project is all the Ts are crossed and all the Is are dotted, and we're going to move forward with this because I was under the impression that it was supposed to go to them at this month's meeting, but I guess it's not. So do we have any assurance? You want to give a little rundown after the process?
LAFCO has asked for a pre-meeting, which they've asked us to get some various parts of the information together and some meetings to have before we make our formal application. But Brent and I are on this, trying to get the most complete application. And one of our big check boxes happens next Tuesday, where we have people at the table that Carmen and I have invited, including LAFCO and the Ag Land Trust, right to our table, which would further our good faith effort at agricultural mitigation. So we believe we're on track, and that once we have the box over the threshold, it's going to be pretty darn complete. So
Tavin LAFCO still has to create the service agreement, the MSR, municipal services.
correct. There's work LAFCO has to do. That's true. And there's going to be several concurrent timelines once our application is made, like the city negotiating a tax agreement with the county, and it's a live application. It doesn't just sit on a desk and happen one day. There's multiple. It's dynamic, and the gears are coming together. I believe we're in good shape.
Okay. Based on the meeting that we had with LAFCO 3 weeks ago now, about 3 weeks ago, shortly after your approval, this is their timeline, expecting some time in February, March for the hearings. But again, that's if everything is ironed out, and we continue working with LAFCO at the table to make sure that everything we need to do and the Pembroke needs to do is taken care of.
And then any requirements or any asks on our part, would they go to the developer or to LAFCO with regards to ensuring that Fano Road is widened enough prior to the development that it's not going to impact the people who live out there any more than they already will be? Do you see what I'm saying? I would rather have the roads widened before the development starts. I mean, that's just my wish, because the people are going to be impacted, and by having additional construction machinery out there, it's already bad, and it's going to go from bad to worse, and I don't want it to go to the worst side.
The way we've written the development agreement and laid out the conditions of approval for the tentative map is no new residents can occupy their house until such time as that road is operational and has been connected.
Understood. But in the meantime, as we have contractors coming in and out,
Yes.
that's already a heavy traffic area. If we can ask, is that going to be the developers or the city's obligation to widen Fano Road? Or both? It's going to be a partnership, the developers.
Yes.
If we can ask, I mean, all we can do is ask, if that can be addressed first, so that the impact on the residents is lessened because the roads would be wider. Because a lot of people already use that Fano to Associated, and they come around the north end to drop their kids off at school over here.
Wow.
They already do that. And if we don't widen that road early on, then it's going to impact them even more. And this is going to take a while. It's not going to happen in 2 months. It's not going to happen in,
Yeah.
6 months. It's
No,
going to
for-
be, it's
for-
going to be a long project. I understand that. But if the focus can be on widening Fano from Johnson Canyon all the way to the Bassey Ranch on Associated Lane, because I think that's what it's going to go through there, right? That's the easement that we've gotten. If that can be addressed initially, I think that would impact our residents less than they're already going to be impacted.
Of the 770 acres and the 250 or so that are here with the first phase, and 30 different subunits, the road construction on that road is with number one. It's
Okay.
with the first development.
Great,
Okay.
thank you.
Since Liz has made that comment, I'd like to make a couple more. I'm hoping that staff is working with the developers for a couple of things. One of the things that I see that a lot of cities are going to, and it makes a lot of sense once you start using them, is the roundabouts. Saves time. You don't have cars idling at a stop sign. And it's just a more fluid. Once people get used to the roundabout, it's actually a much better than a four-way stop. The other one that just gripes my goat is all these retention ponds. I see a huge retention pond in Canyon Creek is just full of weeds. That's all it is, weeds. Why can't we do like our neighboring city, Soledad, instead of creating a big retention pond, they created a big flat park that, yes, it works as a retention pond during the winter months, and it works quite well. I've never seen it overflow. And for 90% of the year, 95% of the year, soccer fields. And I see lots of youth using that. So I'm hoping that, I don't know if that's Public Works, if that's you as the planner, that make those determinations, but I'm hoping we're a little more,
No, thank you, Mayor Rios. The roundabouts are in the design. They just
Yep.
haven't been engineered yet. They're part of the plan and they're to be included, but they've not been, down to the curb and the gutter and all that at this point. And, I'm with you on the detention basins. And, we'll, stay to multiple use as best we can without having fences and barbed wire be the first thing you see when you get to the new subdivision.
please.
And that also, those things just collect, burger wrappers and sting like that. So
Amen.
they are not good amenities, if you ask me.
Yeah, and then we have, every once in a while, we get a real creative child that decides to throw matches in there. And there's a fire department and they're trying to put out a brush fire inside the retention pond.
Yeah.
So anything that can be done to better that, I would sincerely appreciate, and I think it would be a little more of a beautification of our community. I mean, I drive down River Road and see that big retention pond there that's just as you go into Taylor. Wouldn't it be nice if it was an actual little usable park? Because again, I never see that thing get full.
Through the mayor, if I could just offer one little tidbit, Councilwoman Liz Silva, is this action you took tonight on the LAFCO is exactly one of those cross the Ts, get it, tamp down any of the resistance, those things that are gonna slow us down. LAFCO basically said, if this isn't done, we don't know, we're gonna drag our feet. We're able to get it done, and you've taken care of some business tonight. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any additional comments? And if not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve resolution number 2025-74 as presented.
Do I have a second?
And second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, GYC.
Shelby's here. Oh,
Yeah,
I said-
Shelby.
And
I never thought I would start off this earlier, but yeah, yes, yes. With that said, we're gonna go over the same process as my brother and I have done, in our last council meeting, so I will start saying on my updates, and Shelby will start stating her GYC dates.
Okay.
So. Yeah, okay. We're doing a switcheroo.
Okay, it's fine. Whatever works.
Awesome. For GYC updates, on October 7th,
Sorry.
there you go.
so on October 7th, the Gonzales Youth Council commissioners were able to meet the commissioners of Greenfield Youth Council, sorry. The meet and greet consisted of a variety of questions such as, why did you join the youth council? How are your ways of holding youth council meetings? And what are your processes of recruiting Greenfield Youth Council members? On October 9th, the GYC has hosted their second meeting where we discussed our SMART goals and possible partnerships. On October 16th, we met with State Senator Laird, in which our youth council had questions regarding his background, education, and overall progress, of being a state senator for California. Senator Laird also had questions about why we joined the Gonzales Youth Council and what our plans are for this GYC term. Overall, he seemed very interested in our problems and would like to help us in the future with anything we have concerns on.
Thank you very much, Sylvie. So for our futures GYC related dates, we only have one, which on October 23rd, we will be having our third GYC meeting. And for our third GYC meeting, we'll be touring around the community center with our new GYC members. And yeah, that is all to report on the Gonzalez Youth Council.
Great.
Do you have any questions or?
Council, any questions for the youth? No? No?
I always have a
Okay,
question.
you have a question.
When, I appreciate your updates on the youth council. Can you also give the council, our city council, updates on some of the things that are happening around the school every once in a while? You don't have to do it every time, but maybe once a month. Like we give our reports about the different committees that we attend. I mean, I'm just asking if maybe somebody could give that update, because I love to hear what's happening at school. I like to, because I know that this week is an important week for those that bleed black and orange, correct? It's homecoming week, right? Okay. You want to give a little bit on that, Shelby?
Yeah, so this week is our homecoming week. We started off the festivities today with dress up days. So today was couch potato day. So that's why we're kind of in our hoodies today. Yeah. We'll have several dress up days throughout this week, and then the big homecoming days will be Thursday and Saturday, which is a little different for us this year. Thursday we will have our rally, and then right after our rally will be our homecoming parade, which is different from years past. We usually had the rally on another day and then the homecoming parade the day before our homecoming game, but this year our game would be on a Thursday, so we had to kind of smush all our events all into one day. So it'll be a fun little homecoming day, and then our dance will be on the 25th of, I believe. Wait, yeah,
Yeah, Saturday.
25th, Saturday. Yeah,
The game's
on Thursday.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to change it in my calendar again.
Thursday night
Thursday night football.
Yeah.
So yeah, come out and support our local football team on Thursday.
And the parade is at what time?
Parade will be from noon to 12:45 on Thursday.
And it'll come up 7th or up 5th?
I believe
Comes up
Yeah.
5th and goes around?
we'll be going down 5th and then around to the schools.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
go around to First Street.
Yeah,
We'll be posting the route as well on social
Okay.
media so people have it and know where to stand to
Perfect.
support the route.
That way I can get my mom out there, she likes to watch the parade. I'll go over by Maria's shop, that's what I'll do. Thank you, Shelby. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, coming back to council, council reports. First is League of Cities. I have nothing to report. Handbag,
We were dark. We,
okay. MST, our reporter's not here today, so. Oh, she
did
did.
the minute thing.
Yes.
You want to read it?
It's quite a bit, so
Oh, okay,
I can,
that's fine.
our
That's fine.
Councilwoman, Silva, do you want to read some of the highlights? Because it's
I'll read the first page and then you can get the second. How's that? Okay, the MST highlights of their Board of Directors meeting for October 13th. Ms. Worthy did leave these with us tonight. They recognized their October Employee of the Month. MST Board adopted Resolution 2026-06, recognizing Ezekiel Reboyar, the Systems Engineer, as the October 2025 Employee of the Month for his outstanding contribution to MST and the entire community. For 30 years of service, the MST Board recognized Jim Lopez, Mechanic A, for 30 years of service and for his outstanding dedication and contribution to MST and the entire community. The Right Way Award winners recognition, and that's WRIGHT. The MST Board recognized 52 coach operators who received the MST Right Way Award for being safe while providing outstanding customer service. To be eligible for this award, coach operators had to have no safety-related incidents and/or accidents, no valid customer complaints, and no official discipline during the fiscal year. Received the first draft of the 2026-2030 strategic plan. MST Board received its first draft of the 2026-2030 strategic plan and provided comments in order for staff to present a final strategic plan no later than the board meeting of December 8th, 2025. They authorized purchase of 22 paratransit vehicles. The MST Board authorized the general manager, CEO, or their designee to purchase 22 paratransit vehicles for MST's Rides program from Model 1 in an amount not to exceed $2,782,000. Gosh, I wish they would share some of that with us. Authorized agreement with Denise Duffy and Associates. The MST Board authorized the general manager, CEO, or their designee to execute an agreement with Denise Duffy and Associates for habitat mitigation monitoring program services in support of coastal permit conditions for the surf. Project is in the amount not to exceed $310,000. You want to read the second page? It doesn't matter. We could or not.
I like the main thing.
I don't know what the main things are.
Okay. Approved updates to MST Public Transportation Agency Safety. So the MST Board approved updates to MST's Public Transportation Agency Safety Plan. They awarded contracts related to enhancing mobility and innovation. Project award was in the amount of $449,000 and $449,860, which enhances the mobility innovation project. They approved 3% in the fiscal year 2025 for incentive pool for MSTEA and confidential unit employees. So they'll all be receiving a 3% incentive for those who are eligible. Received a report on the transfer of 4 retired MCI over the road coaches. MST Board received a report describing the transfer of 4 retired MCI over the road coaches, of which 2 were transferred to San Joaquin Regional Transit District and 2 were transferred to Stanislaus Regional Transit Authority. They awarded a contract to Advanced Chemical Transport. The MST Board authorized the general manager or designee to enter into a 3-year contract with Advanced Chemical Transport LLC with an option to extend for 2 years and an additional 1-year term in an amount not to exceed $535,000 and including option years. Authorize the purchase of 4 Ford trucks. And the MST Board authorized the general manager or the designee to purchase 4 Ford trucks at the lowest price, best option available, in an amount not to exceed $370,000. And then their next meeting will be November 10th.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, next is oral communications. If it's okay with you, Mr. Roscoe, can we start with you?
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Funk?
Nothing at this time.
Okay.
Goodness gracious me.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let's see, I guess our next meeting is the first Monday of November, and we'll have election the next day. I'm just gonna remind everybody, those that can vote, please remember to vote. It doesn't take much time, fill it out, drop off your ballot in front of City Hall, drop it in the mailbox, or hand deliver it to the Elections Department. It's not that hard. I think it's advantageous for our community voters to express their thoughts and their opinions through this means. And even though it's kind of in between all elections, your vote will count. What else do I have? Homecoming. We're black and orange on Thursday. Honor our Spartans. That's all I have. Thank you.
I just want to let the council know that Carmen and I met last Friday with the Consul General for Mexico. They're normally located in the San Jose office. He came down here to speak to Carmen and I about possibly holding a time here in Gonzales that folks, instead of having to travel all the way to San Jose, could just come here to Gonzales. So what he was looking for was a space for 15 of his personnel and an area where people could come in and sit and wait for their turn. So we kind of looked at a couple of options, and I think the most viable one was here, the council chambers. He loved it, thought it was a great location. And I says, well, you know, I commented to him that I don't think he'll need all 15 people because we're only a community of 8,000. But if, you know, if we get more, last Saturday, they actually had the travel consulate. They held it at King City. It's St. John's Catholic Church on 3rd Street. So I don't know what their turnout was. I'd be curious. I'm gonna write up with Mayor LaBarre on Wednesday, so I'll ask them what their turnout was like. Because I know that at this time of the year, a lot of folks are leaving for Mexico and they need matriculas or visas. And so rather than travel all the way up there, they can come here and get,
Unless they've changed their system, the problem is that when they open the line for appointments, anybody who calls in can get an appointment. So we've had people show up that are not from Gonzales. It's almost like housing, we can't say no to just anybody who wants to buy a house if we have to open it up to everybody.
no, and he knew that.
Yeah, so.
He's open to that.
They usually have it at the high school in the cafeteria, so that may be another, and it's, because depending on how many people come, it's a lot of people who show up. So unless they limit it to by appointments and how many appointments, but that's what they usually have. So I don't know if that's.
It sounded like he was being really kind of secretive and saying,
Yeah.
we're only gonna have the locations and we'll only tell the community a few days or a month before we come. And so we're hoping that mitigates or, they're able to do what they want to do, so.
Through the
But-
mayor, can I add a little bit of what you
Absolutely.
mentioned? Because I thought there was some important things to take note of. And I think that day is going to be by appointment only. But they're looking at sometime in January. So actually, January 10th potentially. But what was also notable for you guys to share with community is he was very insistent that if people from the area, South County, King City, Greenfield, Gonzales, end up going to San Jose to get their documents taken care of, et cetera, they will not turn them away. So when they show up, they need to say they're coming from outside the area, and he's leaving the office open until everybody gets taken care of. So that's kind of his philosophy these days, is even if they have to stay and work longer days, he's not turning anybody away.
Yeah, very
And you're
young,
coming from the area.
very young.
From
Yeah,
outside the other
I think
one.
it's that youth energy that he's bringing to the table. He says, I don't mind staying till 10 or 11,
Yeah.
whatever time it takes to help people get their documents.
The other thing he did share that I think is important for the community to know too is Thursdays, he's got an attorney there providing free legal assistance on immigration cases. So anybody who has questions regarding their immigration status, et cetera, even DUIs, the DV, all that stuff, they can go Thursdays anytime and talk to an attorney. So anyway, just wanted to share that important information.
So the other thing I'd like to suggest, and maybe, I know, Maria, you have 850 people following you on your Facebook account. I've heard, I don't personally have Facebook, but anyway, I've been asked numerous times by young people, mostly young. Well, I guess everybody that's not me is a lot younger, so. What's happening with the subdivision? They'd like to sign up if there's a list because they want to come back. And these are folks that are currently living in Greenfield, King City, Soledad. And I thought about that and I kept thinking about it and I thought, wow, if we could have some kind of sign up list of people wanting to come back to Gonzales, I think that's just another quiver that we could put in our shaft for when we go before LAFCO and say, look at our list.
Mayor, if I could, our list is 310 strong right now.
So right now, you've already got a list.
Right now, it's been going on and we've notified people when we have planning commission, city council, or when we need to pack the bus to go to LAFCO. That's
Yeah.
what we're gonna do. So you can call the general line, everybody in the front staff and also the community development department have access to adding people's name and email to that notification list.
Yeah, this young lady that I saw on Saturday, 3 of her brothers live here in town. Her mom and dad have lived here in town forever. Her and her husband couldn't find anything other than Greenfield. They bought in Greenfield. And at this point, they don't care what the price of the house is, what they told me. I don't care. We'll sell it. We'll figure it out. But we want to come back to Gonzales and they're building, we're buying. So, I mean, it sounds great. And I'm glad to hear that kind of enthusiasm from the youth. Because I feel it's always better our own folks that have lived here in town come back because they know what a tranquil and quiet community it is, and hopefully it continues to be that, so.
And I will say that, when folks have approached me about, the project, I refer them to City Hall and I tell them to get out, there's a mailing list, give them the email, and so I know that recently we've had some meetings, and I've seen a couple of folks that have signed up, so they do the email, and that way they get the information. They get very beneficial, because I think if we started a new list, it would just be.
No, I'm just saying, let's amplify, and if, you know, if you're willing to reach out to your 850 followers, and I guess it's all being channeled through you, Mr. Kennison Brown?
You just call City Hall, and
Okay.
you'll get your name on the
City
list.
Hall in general. Okay, sounds great. Then I had one more question for our city attorney. I have a number of friends in law enforcement, and they've told me that under Penal Code 415, this noise disturbance ordinance, they can cite drivers. But if a city is able, and I guess City of Salinas has got a pretty stout ordinance that just helps their cause, and it's easier to cite them, and 90% of the time they do get fined. My concern is this, and I don't know if any of you have heard this, but around my little part of the community, and it's all sorts of music. One day it's rock, the other day it's R&B, the next day it's banda, but it is so freaking loud. My windows in my house rattle. For me, as an old fart, once I'm asleep, I really don't hear anything. But I got a neighbor who works 24 hours, then he gets a day off, and he tries to sleep, but of course, that noise. I got a neighbor in front of me who's a new mom, just October 13th was her delivery date. And I know those babies, you know, at that young age, it disturbs them. And I'm saying, I know that the police department is busy, but boy, my only thing is that I think, well, you know what? Go ahead, play it as loud as you want. When you're an old person and you can't hear nothing, that's where I get my vengeance. But in all fairness, you know, if we could look at seeing if what City of Salinas has got as an ordinance, maybe if we can either borrow or adapt it to ours to give our police department more teeth, because it seems like there's a lot of folks, I don't know if they ran into lottery money or what the heck, but it's not isolated to 4x4s, it's not isolated to lowriders, it's all across the board. And like I said, all types of music. I love music, and but you know, like I said, it doesn't bother me, but I know that I've gotten several complaints from some of the neighbors saying, hey, why doesn't the city cite those guys? And I said, you know, let me ask. I don't even know if it's a citable offense. And I did ask, and in Salinas, they do cite them under Penal Code 415, but with the addition of the city ordinance, I guess it's got some pretty good teeth, and they're able to take that to court, and their win rate is pretty good. So I know you have nothing else to do, Michael. You're probably sitting there twiddling your thumbs, but if you could take a look at that, I'd appreciate it. Let's give our department as many weapons as they need to be able to handle this current noise disturbance. I mean, during the parade, fine, it's once a year, but the rest of the time, like I said, it's all hours of the day and night. It's like all hours of the day and night. But I said, once I hit the pillow, my wife says, that babies are crying. Okay. Never heard them. Okay, that's all I have. Moving on. City manager's report.
Yeah, just two things. So we will be doing the Veterans Day celebration, yet to be determined, because we are hoping to partner with the school and the American Legion again. And so we're still waiting. They don't have a set date yet. We're trying to confirm what that date is, but will be the first week or so of November. So potentially that Thursday or Friday before Veterans Day. So I'll send that date out as soon as I have it. We are also planning the movie night this Saturday. Trunk or treat and movie night are going to be joint together. We are still collecting candy because last year and the prior year to that, we went through it so fast. So we're still taking any donations so that we can keep the kiddos happy, get them to enjoy their costumes for a few days. And then the only other thing, Tevin, our grand opening for Amor de Café. Should I announce it?
Friday the 24th, please do.
Yes. should be on your calendars, Friday the 24th, 3:30, grand opening celebration for Amor de Café, small celebration, but to honor a new business in town. So if you can join us, we're happy to support her and seems to be getting some good foot traffic in there. So right now, our small businesses need all the support they can get. So if you, she does make a coffee. Just make sure you have it not till late in the day. 'Cause it
You
keeps
might
you
not be
up.
able,
It does a good job.
you might not be able to shut your eyes.
And then I will just start putting it out there. You guys all should also have this on your calendar, but at this point, we are announcing it far and wide. January 10th will be the grand opening of our community center, the Dennis and Janice Caprera Community Center Complex. So just make sure you get it on everyone's calendar. I know some people want to come from out of town, so we've given them enough notice, hopefully, to make arrangements to get here that Saturday morning. So we're all pretty excited and gearing up the wheels for that.
Cool.
You have something?
Yes,
Yeah, just real quick for the record and for what it's worth, actually, the former police chief retired honorably on his own accord. It had nothing to do with the Martinez family whatsoever. And when I'm ready to retire, I'll let you know. And it certainly won't be at the hands of the Martinez family. So, as far as the loud music go, are you referring to loud music from vehicles?
vehicles.
Yeah, there's a vehicle code section pertaining to vehicles, anything audible more than 50 feet from the vehicles side of it.
Oh, these are, I can hear them coming down Third Street.
Well, if people call in, the officers will respond to do it.
Okay.
The 415 code is a penal code, and it requires somebody to sign a complaint in order for the officer to enforce it. The officer can't enforce it on their own.
Okay.
The city ordinance has some ability to assist along the lines if it's audible and the officer hears it within 200 feet, I think is what it reads, the officer can take action on it via city ordinance. And it'd have to be defended by the city attorney and whatnot in court. As a misdemeanor, otherwise it just follows an infraction, just like the vehicle code.
Okay.
That's all I have.
All right. Thank you. Anything else for the good of the order?
That's all for today,
Okay.
Mayor.
All right. I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Keep waiting for someone to say nay.